Hi, today we're going to talk about how we can tell if two fractions are proportional. That really means how can we tell if two fractions that look different do represent the same ratio or the same fraction. So there's three different ways to do this. I'm going to show you my favorite first. So my favorite is to turn the fraction into a decimal. Turn the fraction into a decimal. And that's pretty easy to do. You just divide the top divided by the bottom. So let's say we have the fraction like 5 over 13. And 40 over 104. Sure, we'll go with those. And we're trying to decide, hey, so like question mark, there should be a question mark here. Are these equal to each other? That means, are they proportional? Do they represent the same fraction? So my favorite strategy, turn the fraction into a decimal. 5 divided by 13, well, that gives us a long number, 0.384615, and then it starts over again. So that's a repeating decimal. And I can do 40 divided by 104, and that happens to equal the same thing. So in this case, yes, they are proportional because they equal the same thing. Okay, let's look at another example. How about like 7 over 10? Is it proportional to, or does it equal? Is it equivalent to? Let's go with like 30 over 32. So I'll do 7 divided by 10. That equals 0.7. And I'll do 30 divided by 32. That happens to equal well, I'll do a 0 in front. So 0.9375. Those two decimals are not the same, so that means no, it is not equal to. They're not proportional. So that's my favorite way. Just turn it into a decimal. But it's not the only way. And honestly, like looking at this, it's kind of inconvenient looking at that really long decimal. So let me show you another way. Second way is to simplify the fraction into its simplest form. So what if we have something like 25 over 100? Sure. And we're saying, hey, curious, is that proportional to 75 over 300? I don't know. And so, of course, I would just divide top divided by bottoms, but sometimes that's not your favorite. So then we could simplify, and some of you have a calculator that will actually do it for you. Mine does. But if not, then you just need to simplify by dividing by some common factors. And we can simplify as much as we can, which this one happens to simplify to 1/4. Let's check out the other one. 75 over 300 simplifies to the same thing, 1/4, which means that yes, these two are proportional. Okay, let's try another one. How about we do 17 over 20? And we're saying, curious, is it proportional to 45 over 50? And so we can simplify 17 over 20. Well, fun fact, 17 is a prime number, so you can't simplify that at all anymore. So that's just 17 over 20. But 45 over 50, we can simplify and say, hey, maybe we'll get lucky. It's going to equal the same thing. But the answer is no. It simplifies to 9 over 10. So nope, those are not proportional fractions. So there's two strategies. One is turn it into a decimal. One is simplify the fraction. And let me show you the last strategy. Probably not the very last ever strategy, but the last of the three that I always use. And this one is to cross multiply. So I'm going to have my two fractions. Say I have the fraction 10 over 50. And let's see. I'm going to do, let's try this. Actually, I don't know if this one will work or not. 16 over 80, and I say, hey, are those proportional? Well, I could divide, top divided by bottom, or I could simplify each fraction, or third option is called cross multiplying. That means I multiply diagonally across. So I do 10 times 80, which happens to be 800. And I multiply diagonally across. See how it makes kind of this multiply sign, this X sign. 50 times 16, it does indeed equal 800. And because those two are the same number, yes, these two fractions are proportional. And let's take a look at another example. Let's say I have 12 over 13. And I'm curious, hey, is that proportional? I didn't question mark over here, but it was. Is it proportional to, how about 27 over 30? And I can cross multiply, so 12 times 30 is 360. And I cross multiply, 13 times 27 is 351. Now, I have heard some people say, well, those are pretty close, so we'll go with yes. But the answer is no. They have to be exactly the same for them to be proportional. So sad face, nope, those are not proportional. So those are 3 strategies for figuring out if fractions are proportional. Turn it into a decimal, simplify as much as you can, or cross multiply.